If by this point you don't know who Jake Weber, Johnny Gilbert, Tari Yami, and Carrington are, I don't know what to tell you. Over recent years, this group of YouTubers got pretty famous. There is just no way that you've never seen these clips before.
I'm emo, I'm really good at carving. Mamma mia.
Hey, buddy! Squidward! Free cleaning service? Census taker?
Love this Target because
You see, this group of content creators is based in LA and they're all very good friends with each other, which is exactly why people like them. In their videos, they have such a friendly and casual atmosphere that when you watch them, it feels like you are just hanging out with them. All of those creators have millions of followers on YouTube, and their videos constantly gain millions of views. But if you know literally anything about those people, you may also know that Jake Weber, Tari Yami, Johnny Gilbert, and Carrington are also known for their controversy. That is absolutely right. Every single member from this friend group has some controversy that happened and was discussed before. Which is exactly why I literally made 3 videos about them in the past already, and ever since then I kind of forgot about them. Until about a week ago, I found out that there was actually another major scandal, and I just have to talk about it because what happened was so disgusting and just atrocious that you just cannot ignore it. So why is everyone talking about Jake Weber and Carrington specifically now, and what kind of allegations they have? Let's talk about it. Hi! As always, before we start, I would just like to say that I myself have been a fan of those people, which is why I know so much about them. And with this video, I'm not trying to promote any hate towards anyone that was involved in the situation. So please delete that angry long paragraph that you already typed in the comments, and let's start the video. You know, you really cannot describe this group of people in one word. But basically, all those people, Jake Weber, Johnny Gilbert, Haii, and Carrington, they all live in LA and they're all alternative influencers, meaning that they all dress in mainly alternative fashion, like emo, punkish, or just dark alternative clothing. And they all have very long documented careers on YouTube, and actually Jake Weber used to date Tara Yami, but they broke up some time ago, and currently Johnny Gilbert is dating a Stranger Things actress, Grace Van Dien. I really cannot tell you any more details about them because it's just so much to know. They have like over 5 years worth of content on YouTube and so much lore in situations. But if you're interested, you can always watch my other videos about them. But still, you get who those people are now, right? So you see, Jake Weber, Johnny Gilbert, and Carrington are known for hosting parties and filming it for their YouTube channel. For example, like special occasions like 4th of July and Halloween, they would just invite a bunch of other influencers that are their friends and film a video, a vlog from the party. It's like a tradition they have now, and you know, it's not very uncommon for influencers to do things like this. A person who goes by the name Raven on TikTok posted a series of videos recently. In those videos, they were claiming that they went to one of those parties, specifically the Halloween party that was hosted by Johnny Gilbert. And they claimed that as a result of that party, they were kidnapped and taken advantage of, and multiple other atrocities happened to them that night. This video immediately sparked so many discussions all over the internet. People came up with theories, trying to find the holes in their story, and ultimately everyone was asking for Jake and Johnny and all this entire group of people that were at the party to speak up. Even though the party was hosted by Johnny Gilbert, Jake Weber and Haii and Carrington, they're all friends with Johnny Gilbert, so they were all at the party. So what did Raven even say about the party that caused so many discussions on the internet? Let's watch it.
So I'm just gonna lay out my dirty laundry at this point because I've been holding this in my fucking body for however many months it's been, since October. I've been going in a downward spiral ever since October because I went to an influencer party. To be specific, I went to Johnny Gilbert's Halloween party, and at this party I got extremely inebriated. I believe that I got roofied. They still want to debate whether or not that happened or not, but even so, doesn't fucking matter. I left alone without my phone. They watched me leave alone without my phone, and I ended up getting somehow picked up by 2 strange men and kidnapped and raped and ended up in front of my adoptive parents' house. And I was crashing out in front of their house and screaming horrible things at them, so they called the cops. Cops didn't come until I ran up the hill and found somebody driving in their car and was like, hey, I don't know what happened. I'm like, I didn't even understand what was going on because I was so out of it. But yeah, ended up going home in a cop car that morning. It was the first time I've ever been in a cop car. And then they filed a restraining order against me, which they won. So I have a restraining order against me for 5 years, which is really, really crazy. But it's just been bad after bad after bad after bad. And I even tried to talk to people from this party after to figure out what the fuck even happened, and they've just been rude to me. It's just not cool. I ran into him at emo night too. I saw him and I was like, hey, can I just talk to you for 2 seconds? And he gave me like a I gotta go catch up with my friends type shit. Like, it was just really insensitive. Like, hi, I was probably one of the youngest people that went to that party, and I believe that I got roofied. And even if I didn't, I told you guys what happened after that. Like, why can't you sit there for 5 minutes while I ask? I just want to know what happened. Like, I just wanted to talk to him about it, and he just was not having it. So yeah, it's just been tough. I have no money. I've been watching these same people, you know, just go on, just living life like they have no fucking care in the world. And here I am, like, literally don't even remember the last time I had a full meal. And the joke is, too, like, I was getting told via people that they know to stop posting about that night because they were scared or worried or whatever the fuck. There's not a day that goes by where I don't think about that night. It was the most traumatic night of my entire life, and I can say that hands down. There's no doubt about it. The most traumatic night of my life. Whether I got roofied or not was fucking, it's literally doesn't matter because I left alone without my phone, and they knew that I left alone without my phone. Nothing makes sense. Nothing that night made sense at all. My mental health has been in the gutter ever since then, and I think about that all the time. It awakened some sort of anger and envy in me for, you know, just influencers that, like, there's more too. Jake Weber, oh my god, fuck Jake Weber. For the comment he made about who the woman who was my manager at the time went to go get my phone from their house 2 days later, and he made some comment about, like, or to his friend about, like, oh, Raven's manager and her son came and they were so invasive, and, you know, they just probably wanted a picture or something. Mind you, her son is 10 years old and has Down syndrome. Like, he's not on TikTok, clearly. And I'm just like, why would you ever, who do you think you are, you 26-year-old fucking YouTuber? Who do you think you are, is my point. Like, are you a human being? Because you don't act like one. It's just infuriating, and I'm looked at like I'm a crazy bitch because apparently when I was that inebriated that night, I was acting like a psychopath to all these influencers there, and I was fangirling and shit, and like that's just not who I am. I don't fangirl over people like that. I couldn't give a fuck less of like how famous you are. Like, that's just not who I am. And anyways, that's what's been eating me alive for months. That's what's so frustrating, and I knew that if I posted about it then, I would get a fuck ton of views and I would get paid off that video and whatever, but I'm so mortified and scared of their fan base because of how insane that they can be, and it's a bunch of, like, you know, 13-year-old people that watch them on YouTube. I don't need that. But yeah, and it's frustrating too because it's like Carrington and I were supposed to make music together, and like then he, like, this whole situation happens and he doesn't give a fuck and he thinks I'm weird, and like I have a video of me and Carrington in my fucking camera roll. I never posted it. Like, I never posted it. I very well could have. But yeah, that's what's been eating me alive. That's what's been on my mind. That's what's been haunting me every single day. And they don't even care. Like, they don't even care that I had to go to the hospital. I had to go to several different places to try to get a grape kit. They don't care. Like, I tried to DM Carrington trying to get my phone back type shit, like the day after or whatever. I recorded a 4-minute audio message for them to play. I sent it to my manager at the time. Sent it to her when she was going to get my phone to play for them, of me apologizing for my behavior that night because I didn't know what happened. Like, I was so embarrassed and so mortified, and then just everything that happened after that, I was like, wow, I know exactly the kind of people you are. Like, it's just, they don't care. They don't give a fuck. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, Carrington, if you see this, fuck you, honestly. And, Jake Weber, if you see this, fuck you too. You guys are fucking sad people. Very, very sad people. You don't care about, any of the damage that happens after these parties. You don't. I've heard from other people too. It's not even just me. I've heard from other people in LA that say you can't go to one of those parties without something bad happening. And unfortunately, I was the one that had to deal with that. And no one seems to give a shit. So that's why I'm not doing great. And if they want to come out here and say, oh, she's lying and this didn't happen, I'm not lying about a damn thing. I'm not lying about a damn thing. I even said, you know, I think I got roofied. You guys want to say that I didn't, but you guys say you have security footage that whole night. Why haven't I seen it? Why haven't my manager seen it? Why haven't anybody? Why has nobody seen it? Like, I don't know why anybody thought that I was just gonna, like, oh, whatever, forget about it. Like, I got fucking raped by two strange men that night after leaving your house without my phone, after you guys watched me leave alone without my phone, and it was early in the night. And when I got my phone back, one of the tabs that was open was the Lyft tab, and I already had a location set. Like, I was gonna try to leave. It was like a 5-minute span from remembering everything to remembering nothing. I just don't believe you guys. I think you guys are trying to save face. So, yeah, I'm over it. So I'm just frustrated, and I wanted to get that off my chest. So yeah.
So, in short, they went to this party, the drink got spiked, which is what roofied means. It means their drink got spiked without them knowing. And they completely black out, don't remember anything except that allegedly two strange men picked them up, took them in a car. Somehow they ended up at their adoptive parents' house and a bunch of stuff happened. And then they met up with police and eventually they don't know anything that happened to them at the party because they were just blacked out. They barely remember anything. And after the party, they tried to reach all of those influencers that were responsible for hosting the party, like Johnny Gilbert, Jake Weber, Carrington, but they are not very close with Johnny Gilbert. So Jake Weber and Carrington are the main people that they are addressing in their allegation. And they claim that those people refused to provide them with needed footage to find out what happened to them at the party and who were those men and what even happened because they literally don't know. And they even ended up running into Carrington and literally asking him in person to talk about this, to discuss, to show the footage. Raven had to get tested for multiple things to find out what happened to them, but they still didn't get a clear answer from those tests. They wanted to see the footage from the party. But Carrington allegedly decided to just go away, say like, oh, I gotta go, and not respond to them. In the description, Raven says this: please don't go attacking these people. I don't want them cancelled. I want an apology. I don't remember the majority of that night. Much of what I'm telling you in this video was told to me. I know how my body reacts to alcohol. I was told that Jake said I took 20 shots. I don't remember taking one. I remember drinking 2 beat boxes. That was it. I specifically told my brother before I got my Uber to the party that I didn't want to get too drunk that night because I wanted to make a good impression, which was why I was limiting myself to 2 drinks. I'm also in several pictures that got posted from that night, and I'm holding beer cans I don't remember drinking from. The whole thing screams suspicious, and I just really wanted to get it off my chest. My body can't handle large amounts of alcohol unless I'm on another substance, which is why I believe I got roofied, which means the drink got spiked. Straight up, I don't care that they have a large following. Believe me or don't, it won't change how I feel or what happened. This is my truth, and I'm not gonna be scared into being silenced any longer. This eats me daily, and it's disappointing to know that I used to consume the content and support people that couldn't care less if I lived or died. You are not their responsibility though. Human decency plus Carrington was the whole reason I even got into that party. He is the only person I knew that helped host it, and a huge reminder this video would not exist had they been willing to just talk about it with me. I was told to stay away from their crib because they were weirded out by me, so I was unable to talk to them. So essentially, the whole group, Jake, Weber, and Carrington, they just didn't want to communicate to Raven, didn't want to help them find out whatever happened. So this is where theories come up. You see, Raven is actually very popular on TikTok, has over 500,000 followers there, and they are known for making music about their traumatic experience with SA and try to raise awareness and help other victims that went through it. Which is why some people think that Raven says all of those things for clout, just wants to get Jake Weber and Carrington cancelled. They just made it all up and it's just a lie. Like people say that they just want the likes, the views, the hype, they want to promote their music that is about a similar subject with the story. But I would just like to point out that they were, in fact, at the party. There are videos, pictures of them there. So they were, in fact, at the party. And there's even a video of them next to Carrington. They know Carrington. Carrington literally was the reason they got into the party. Also, if they wanted the hype, would they wait for 2 months after the party happened? The Halloween party video, it came out 2 months ago. Well, actually, Lisa, the video came out 3 months ago, but the point still stands. Why would they want to wait 2 months to tell the story? Why would they hide the story? Why would they be scared to tell it if all they wanted is hype? In the video, they literally say that this situation has been eating them alive, and they try to reach out to Jake and Carrington in any other way to try to communicate to them and solve the issue, but they refused, which is why they probably felt the need to speak up to the public and share their frustration with everyone. Also in description, they say they don't want to get those people cancelled in any way. They literally asked to not bring any backlash towards them. Clearly, they don't want to get those people cancelled. They just want to know the truth and to get an apology for not helping to get to that truth. And of course, it's a very serious allegation to say that you got kidnapped by two strange men from that party and your drink got spiked. How would you know your drink got spiked? Well, they clearly say that they know how their body reacts to alcohol. They did not plan to get any drunk or anything. And clearly, they completely blacked out. They don't remember anything, which could be as a result of another substance being mixed with alcohol. Of course, we have no way of proving it, but it's a very, very possible thing that could happen. And the reason why they want an apology from Carrington specifically is because they know Carrington. Carrington knows them. They literally met at the party. There's a video of them together from the party. None of them seem weirded out. And Carrington mentioned multiple times Raven on his lives on Instagram.
That girl makes some wicked music, bro. I literally showed it to Jake and Johnny. I was like, bro, listen to this fucking girl. This girl's eating right now. Yeah, Raven probably gonna blow the fuck up. Shout out Raven.
And it's just so frustrating for Raven to know that they have been reaching out to those influencers ever since the party happened and nothing has changed, and they literally don't care to provide them with more details to know what happened to them. Because they literally don't know what happened, they don't remember anything, just like very little details. And those influencers that they thought they could trust and that hosted the party don't talk about it, refuse to communicate, refuse to even be near Raven because they were weirded out by their behavior. And some details from the story that really weird me out is how would Jake Weber know how much shots Raven took? Like, he literally said that they took 20 shots and they don't remember it. And how does Jake know that they did in fact leave their phone and they saw them taking 20 shots? Like, that is so suspicious. But in this point of the story, we should ask, who was responsible for what happened? Are the hosts of the party, like Johnny Gilbert, that was his party, is he responsible for what happened? Is Jake and Carrington, who apparently know Raven and did in fact see them take 20 shots, are responsible ones for preventing whatever could happen? Or maybe even Raven is responsible for this and it was just their fault to get this drunk? Well, let's slow down with pointing fingers. I don't know for sure. Okay, I don't know for sure, but I assume that Raven is a responsible adult that is of drinking age since they went to the party with an alcohol and they were planning to drink. That means they are in fact allowed to drink, right? And even though they were the youngest person at that party, they are still a legal adult that is allowed to drink and in fact is responsible for how much they drink. Until their drink got spiked and they literally were not responsible for any of their actions. They completely don't remember anything that happened to them. You cannot control yourself after that substance is already in you. So it is not their fault, in fact. They could not have prevented it. Just hearing them say that they don't remember anything, barely know how they got from one point to another, they don't even remember who those men are, they don't remember what happened to them, they don't know whether they were taken advantage of, like all of those things, they just show that they clearly could not have prevented it or do anything. So that is not the case, it's not Raven's fault at all. But what about Jake and Carrington, who knew apparently Raven, and Jake knew that Raven took 20 shots and told Raven, and they knew that they left their phone, they knew all those details. Could they see that Raven is drinking too much? Could they see the two strange men near Raven? Could they see Raven leaving the party knowing that they left their phone inside? Like, knowing all those details, could they have really prevented it and like put Raven in like a separate room or like in a safe space knowing that they are like completely drunk? Well, yes, they could. They know those details, which are very suspicious. But we cannot forget the fact that because Raven is a legal adult, they may have thought, oh, like, they are responsible for themselves, they are responsible for how much they drink at the party. Maybe it's normal for them. Maybe they wanted to get this drunk. Like, it was their conscious choice. And maybe they always act this weird when they're drunk. How would they know? Also, Jake and Carrington, they are the influencers that are filming at the party. Like, they are busy hosting the party, being on camera, like talking to their friends, they could have just not noticed Raven. They could have just like meet up with them for like 5 minutes and then go away. They are not really the babysitters. They should not just look after Raven like every single 5 seconds, making sure that they are okay. It is a party with a lot of people and a lot of alcohol, so everyone is kind of responsible for themselves. They really probably couldn't know like where they went. They probably thought that they were safe. They probably didn't even see them leave the party. Like maybe they just didn't notice. Maybe they just didn't know. It is also a possibility. The kidnapping happened outside of the party, and they are like co-hosts of the parties, so they really cannot control whatever happens outside of the party, so they aren't really at fault here either. But it's just suspicious that they know so many details about Raven and how many shots exactly they took, and they like didn't think it was suspicious, didn't think it was weird, didn't try to stop them. So a little bit more details about the party that I just want to bring up. It was an Uber to and from party for influencer friends. So it's only strictly a party to film it with people that they know are famous and popular and that they're friends with and want to film videos together. It was not just for random people. Those were all like successful YouTubers, Instagram personas, and whatever. And you had to get an Uber to the party and then get an Uber from the party. So Raven got into the car with two strange men in an Uber. But again, those two strange men, were they some kind of friends or influencers of Jake Webber and Carrington and Johnny Gilbert? Maybe what if they were trying to cover those people up? Maybe they didn't want to show any footage from their to cover up their friends. Maybe the reason they were refusing to show Raven the footage from the party because they didn't want for them to know who were those two strange men, because they were their friends or other friend influencers and they didn't want for them to get in trouble, allegedly, which could be a possibility. I know maybe I'm reaching for it, but since it's just an influencer only party of people that they know, that could have been a possibility. But overall, it's just frustrating to learn that they did not care to provide footage. They did not care for Raven to find their truth when something horrible happened to them. They refused to communicate and just decided to tell them to stay away from them. And Jake Webber, Carrington, Johnny, none of those people like mentioned that anything weird happened at the party at all. They have been silent for 2 months, ever since that video came out, until now. You see the discourse of the situation, the video literally came out like a week ago. So all the comments of Drake Webber and Carrington and like everybody were filled with people asking for them to speak up on the situation. And people were like saying, oh my god, like if it's true, I'm so disappointed in you. Can you please talk about this? Can you please clarify some things? But they quickly got deleted.
Because according to people in my comment section, the others are filtering and deleting their comments about it. So that fucking tells me everything I needed to know. People are saying that they're trying to comment on Jake's post and that their shit's getting deleted in like seconds. So honestly, like I'm just sitting here like in disbelief over like that tells me everything. That fucking tells me everything. And like I also had one more thing to add on to the whole spiel. Oh my god, bro. I was told that Jake Webber was like visibly annoyed with me because of how drunk I was. And what I find insane about that is I'm at your house drinking your alcohol, and instead of like you clearly see I'm too drunk and it's making you annoyed. Instead of being like, hey, get an Uber or taking the bottle from me, no, you stood back and you talked to your friends about it and were like, ew, like Raven's so weird for that. Like, what? Like, bitch, are you fucking kidding me right now? You judged me for how I was acting when I'm clearly not okay. And the fact that you're deleting comments, little boy, I don't know if you have a PR team or what, but that's not helping your case. Deleting comments about it isn't helping. I even said in my comments that I didn't want you guys canceled. I don't give a shit. Keep your platforms. I wanted an explanation or an apology. That's it. This could have been over and done with. This actually could have been over and done with if I had been able to have a conversation with you guys 2 days after this all fucking happened. But I was told by your best friend not to go around you guys because you were quote unquote weirded out by me. So I said fuck you once, but fuck you again, honestly. Like, this is fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm actually, I feel disgusting for going through that shit, but man, the fact, like, thank you for deleting your comments, honestly, because that does tell me fucking everything. Like, that really does, and it helps me feel way less crazy about what I went through that night. So thank you for providing that opportunity for me. You suck. You really fucking suck, Mr. John Wayne Gacy painting. Have the day you deserve, bitch.
But as the situation progressed, Jake Weber, Carrington, Johnny Gilbert, and even Grace Van Dien all spoke up on the situation. So let's see what they have to say. So this is Jake Weber's statement about this, and it says, I initially planned to stitch it, but since I blocked, I have no direct contact with them. This is the only way I can respond. While I can't speak on or control what happened after they left, I do want to clarify a few things regarding our party that night. That event in question was not a wild, out-of-control party. It was organized solely to be filmed with strict security measures in place to ensure a safe environment. Every guest was on the list, and they were not. I'm not sure how they got in, but security asked them to leave multiple times because they were making others uncomfortable. Despite this, they repeatedly returned and lingered even after the event was over. I later learned about their experience and immediately offered to help in any way I could through a mutual friend, as I had no direct contact with them. From the Ring camera footage, which I told them I could send anytime, I never withheld it. It shows them on their phone for about a minute while security, who was shutting everything down, asked them to find a way home. They still had their phone at that time. The event was strictly Uber to and from. Regarding the claim about restraining order, there isn't one. I have no idea where that came from. As for the comment about me with their manager came to pick up their phone, I genuinely don't know where that came from either. Their manager showed up unannounced, asked for a phone, and I handed them the one from where they kept the lost and found items. Later, someone else said that they lost a phone of the same color, but by then I had already given it to the manager. I can only speak on what I personally know and can verify. I was focused on filming and went to bed while security handled the closing. When I throw an event, it's friends only, with security in place to keep it safe. It's only designed for content. No matter how secure I make an event, I can't control what happens once people leave. If they ever reach out, I'm happy to help in any way I can. And then Jake proceeds to say that he is actively trying to reach Raven and to settle this issue and is very willing to help. And Carrington's message was this. Hey y'all, wanted to approach the situation with utmost compassion. So sad to hear about someone's experience after they left the party. I tried to reach out but unfortunately was blocked. My heart goes out to this person and I'm grateful that they have a platform online to speak their truth. And that was it. Both Jake and Carrington claimed that they were blocked, and they claimed that Raven wasn't even invited, and they just say that they were in fact trying to reach them and trying to provide them with all the details, and they were willing to do it, but they didn't know how to reach them. They had to contact them through a mutual friend. Like, it was this weird situation. But they claimed that they in fact were looking forward to explain everything to Raven and help them to get to the truth. And Carrington's message, it didn't explain any of the details, really. It was just very short, even though that was the person Raven expected an apology from the most, because that was someone that they knew and the reason why they even got into the party in the first place. So Raven did in fact respond to his message. And here is some things that they clarified.
Hey Carrington, I have one question for you. How stupid do you think I fucking am, bro? Just wanted to approach the situation with the utmost compassion. So sad to hear about someone's experience after they left the party. I tried to reach out, but unfortunately was blocked. You know when you were blocked? You were blocked after I already tried to talk about it with you. I sent you a DM on Instagram, not even just on my account. I know it got stuck in the fucking request, but I DM'd you also when I didn't have my phone on my brother's account. And I know that got stuck in the request, so I also DM'd you on TikTok. Never got a response. And we were mutuals. So we were also mutuals at emo night when I saw you and ran into you and asked you if you could talk to me about what happened. And I know that you knew what was going on at that party because we were all aware that there was some security footage that I haven't seen, no one saw. You had a perfect opportunity to talk to me when I approached you at emo night, trying to get some closure, trying to get some information. That was your opportunity. That was when you and I were still mutuals on TikTok, and you unfollowed me on TikTok, and then I blocked you. So don't get it twisted. I don't know what the fuck. How stupid do you think I fucking am? I'm not a dumbass. I don't care if I'm not as fucking famous as you, don't have as much money as you. I'm a human fucking being, goddammit. And I'm pissed off. Now I'm just fucking mad. Because I gave you a perfect. Oh my fucking. That one sentence, if you would have left that one fucking sentence out of that tweet, I would have said, thanks, Carrington. Really appreciate it. But no. I tried to reach out to them, but I was blocked. I did my due diligence. No, you fucking didn't! Stop lying. Take accountability. Be a fucking man. What the hell is wrong with you? And the fucking joke too is like, I really fucked with you. I really fucked with your content. I thought that you were a really genuine person. I thought you were super cool. I thought you were very sweet when I was aware at that party. And this is just so disappointing. Like, I genuinely was I was telling all my friends, like, oh my god, dude, like, Carrington followed me back and I'm so excited to make music with him. Like, this is super exciting. Dude, like, oh my god. I thought you were super inspiring, and now it's just like, that shit's a facade, bro, and that's so, like, so sad. So sad. The biggest thing I've learned on this fucking app, I'm not famous, period, bitch. The biggest thing I've learned that's been my best fucking tool to reach people on this app is being genuine and recognizing that I'm a human being, okay? And I'm not perfect, and I can actually fuck up, and I can take accountability for things sometimes. I tried my best. When you really fucking didn't, I got nothing from you, and we were mutuals. So that's a bunch of fucking bullshit. I don't, like, oh my god, that's so disappointing. You have millions of followers, you influence so many, like, kids, too. And, like, dude, like, if you don't feel bad, if you don't feel any fucking remorse over this, which I guess no one will ever know for sure, that says I just threw that, so much about you as a person. That's so fucking disappointing, bro. Like, I'm so incredibly disappointed and very much over it. And also, to you and Jake, it's really fucking suspicious the fact that you guys went on Twitter, your smallest platform, and didn't even say my name. My name's Raven. My name's IDK Raven, bitch. Hi, nice to fucking meet you.
You know, Jake Weber's statement seems very weird to me, if I'm being honest, because if allegedly Raven was never invited to the party and they were asked to leave multiple times by security, then wouldn't Carrington be weirded out seeing Raven at the party? Like, they know Raven. They know what they look like. They know they came to the party. They came up to them, and there's a video of them standing and laughing. Wouldn't you be weirded out that Raven is at the party they're not supposed to be in? It just gives me more questions than answers. And also, we're forgetting about another detail here. It was in fact a Johnny Gilbert party. Like, it was mainly hosted by Johnny Gilbert, even though, like, all the videos, they come from the entire friend group and they probably co-hosted it because they are roommates, but it's still labeled as Johnny Gilbert's party. Johnny Gilbert in fact also said something about the party, except all he did was apologize and say that he feels so sorry for Raven. And even his girlfriend Grace Van Dien actually ended up also issuing a statement also in support of Raven and also apologizing for whatever they went through, which meant a lot for Raven, and they posted a video thanking Johnny and Grace for their kindness and for issuing a statement like this because it really made them feel better.
So this video is for Grace and Johnny specifically. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for what you said, Grace, in my comment section, and for what you said, Johnny, on Twitter. I appreciate you both. That's literally all I needed, was just like a little empathy and a little I'm sorry, or like that you understand. And the joke is, I didn't even like call out either of you or say either of your names on either of those videos, and you guys are the only people that have come out and said anything like that and like haven't approached it from some sort of like defensive bullshitty kind of way. And I appreciate you both for that. And Johnny, I'm sorry for blocking you. I blocked you way back when that whole situation happened. I didn't know that you didn't know, so I am really sorry that your name got caught up in all this. It was your party, but you had nothing to do with that whole situation. I don't even think I was around you that much at that party, and if I was, I don't remember. And if I was and was making you or Grace uncomfortable, I'm so sorry. I just want you both to know, like, I was out of my fucking mind that night. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I got roofied. I don't know if I just drank too much. Like, it's sketchy because I don't remember taking a single shot, so it just makes no sense to me. But regardless, Just wanted to say sorry.
Because this is really what Raven wanted in the first place. An apology from two specific influencers, Jake Weber and Carrington, who they contacted specifically because they know them. Not even Johnny Gilbert and Grace. And they still said sorry. While Jake Weber's statement was literally just like disproving many of Raven's points instead of an apology, and Carrington's statement didn't even mention Raven's name at all, even though they clearly know each other. Like, they clearly know, he knows who Raven is, and then he just refers to them as somebody, which just shows a lot about what kind of person Carrington is. You know, I really appreciate how Raven literally comes up and finds the energy to respond to all those claims and make so many videos just going over every single point and trying to get their story heard. Again, those are allegations. We really don't know whether it's true or not. We don't know anything. And Raven also doesn't know what really happened. They don't know the truth. Their drink got spiked. Anything could have happened. So again, I just want to remind you, there could be a possibility that nothing happened and, like, you know, it could be false, it could be true, but there are many things that point that Raven was in fact at the party. They in fact know Carrington. That's all we know. That's literally the most confirmed fact. And also, their hair color is different on the video because the party happened 2 months ago and they dyed their hair black by now. I'm just getting flashback from Melanie Martinez, Timothy Heller situation, how people were bringing up hair a lot, so I just feel like I have to mention it. And so, after all of those responses, after all of those statements, what do you think happened next? So they actually met up with Jake Weber at Jake's house and they discussed everything, every single misunderstanding, and talked a lot to try to get to the truth. Actually, Jake did provide a ring footage of Raven, and it just showed them leaving the party without their phone, without anybody, without getting into the car, just walking into the street alone. And that's the only footage that they saw so far. Remember how in the first video that I showed you, they claimed that a lot of other people said that something dangerous happened to them at those parties? They actually talked to Jake about that, and they in fact suggested some things to keep the parties more safe for guests next time. And they also add that I stand by everything I've said so far. What I went through was horrific, but I do apologize for the insulting things I said towards Jake when I responded to his tweet. I appreciate your willingness to meet in person over the issue, even if it happened months later, and for you being so understanding. Thank you, Jake. And they, in fact, got a little more information about what happened. They still don't know whose car they got into. They don't know who those people, those two strange men are. They don't know very much, but at least they did get answers to majority of their questions, and Jake Weber was in fact willing to meet up with them and discuss it, which is something that I really appreciate about the situation, because usually influencers, they will issue a half-assed statement written by their manager and just leave the situation alone, like, I never participated in this, I don't care. I literally don't care, I'm way too rich to care about this. But he was actually willing to talk to Raven after all this time and directly invite them to their house and discuss everything in great detail. Whatever was the reason of this misunderstanding, it is solved. It has been solved in this discussion. I would just like to read to you Raven's description behind this video, because I feel like it's very important for you guys to hear this. Thank you, Jake. Please remember that he and I are real people with real human emotions. Allow people to grow. I have been taught forgiveness and have implemented it my whole life. There was nothing normal about this situation. It was stressful for everyone. Thank you for everyone that has reached out and supported me through handling this traumatic experience. Much love to all. At the end of the day, Raven did go through something completely traumatic and horrific that clearly affected them, and they have been holding it in for 2 months, and they just had to talk about it. They couldn't find peace in the situation. They just wanted answers and apology. And in emotional situations, people do tend to react irrationally. People do tend to have some misunderstandings. People do have emotions. And a lot of misunderstandings could have happened. But in fact, it does not take away from the fact that something traumatic happened to Raven, and we all have to have some empathy for Raven because of what they went through. Don't say that it's their fault. Don't say that they just got too drunk and they were the cloud. Don't be invalidating. Don't victim blame, because at the end of the day, you never really know what people go through. And your little comments saying that they're a liar can really affect them. Victims of SA and other situations like this, people never listen to them. People never try to find out the truth. People never listen to the victim. Imagine you went through something traumatic and millions of people on the internet say that you're just a liar. You never went through this. It doesn't matter. Your feelings don't matter. And they just hate you and wish you death and wish you for the worst to happen to you. How would you feel about this? Raven has been called an attention seeker, a cloud chaser. But have you ever tried to turn on your brain, turn on your empathy, and really consider that they truly went through something traumatic? And I would just like to say that Raven didn't get to the root of the answer. They still don't know who those two men are. They don't know what happened to them. They don't know whether something really bad happened to them, like were they taken advantage of. They don't know any of those facts. The most they can do right now is to just find peace within themselves and to deal with all those traumatic experiences and emotions that are happening to them. And then a bunch of people on the internet, they start screaming at them, point fingers at them, and say that they're just a cloud chaser and all they want is attention and they're actually at fault here. And I understand you may be a Jake Weber and Carrington and Johnny Gilbert fan, and you just feel the need to defend your influencer from this. But in my opinion, in this situation, nobody was really at fault. It was a bunch of misunderstanding that led up to this very moment and very scandal. And just a reminder that Raven in fact did not reach Carrington at all by this point. Like, they did not resolve the issue with Carrington at all. He just decided to not refer to their name, to forget them even though they knew each other, and just issued a very short statement that shows that he really doesn't care. We as viewers, we were never there. We, of course, were never at the party. We could not see whatever happened. We don't know the truth. But the least we can do is have empathy and compassion and just say, I'm sorry that you went through this, Raven. But again, that's just my opinion. If you have a different one, you can always express it in my comments section. I love to read your guys' comments. I always try to respond to every single one. I just want to hear everything you want to say. If you just want to say something, again, you can always write me a comment. I will please ask you to subscribe to my channel and my other social media that are linked in the description. My goal is to get 30,000 subscribers for this YouTube channel, so please help me. And I will also please ask you to like this video or not. I don't really care. And now, bye!